Hello, Wayfarers. So welcome to a brand new stream that we've got going on, Vampire the Masquerade. This will be the first time that any of us have ever played this game, so it's going to be really, really interesting. But I'm going to hand things over straight away because honestly, I think we just want to get into this and start playing this awesome game. All of us are dressed up. We got our fangs in, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to just hand us straight over to our GM for this wonderful game, Fee.
Okay, so this story takes place in the wonderful year of 2022, in the lovely city of Den Haag, or The Hague in Holland. We start our story. You find yourselves in a room. It is pitch black apart from a square of light at your feet. There are people in the room. You can't hear them or see them, but you know they're there. In front of you, a faint light shines, and you can see 5 people almost standing on a stage in front of you. Cloaks on, you can't see any faces, no details whatsoever. The voice comes out from the middle person. They step forward. They go, "You have been found guilty for your crime. The sentence is death." And at this, Tabitha wakes up screaming.
Where am I?
Just a dream. You're in your own bed.
It's in the closet. Tabitha sleeps in the closet.
Of course she does.
I will peek open the door. Is it day? Is it?
It is evening.
Okay.
The sun has just started to set.
Lou? I'll start to come out of the room. I'll come out of the closet. Lewis?
It's okay. I can hear her calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lou. I would say it's Louis, not Louis, but
Louis.
he's French.
Right. Naturally.
But, Lou, as he hears Tabitha screaming, will run in and just go, "Tabby, darling, are you okay?"
So we were at the club last night, right? We weren't at like the stage or like I saw something. We weren't in front of like a jury or anything and sentenced to death, right? That's not.
No, my love. No, we were.
Then I saw that.
You saw it?
I saw that.
Where did you see it?
It's like, you know, like the things that I see sometimes, it's like it was real, but then I guess it's not real, and so then maybe that's a thing that could be real, maybe.
Lou will kind of step forward, like at this point, like he's got, he's basically just wearing pants and an open shirt, but walk forward and just kind of take Tabitha by the side of the head and with each hand very gently, and just kiss her on the forehead and just go, "Baby sister, it's okay. It's just a dream. And the voices in your head, it's not real. And if it ever is, I promise you, I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
He sentenced us to death. Was I by myself?
No.
Sentenced us to death.
Yeah, they
I feel they're a bit late for that.
I mean, but we can still.
They can still kill us. I know.
Yeah. Because we did something. We might do something.
That is. Don't worry too much about it now. We'll figure it out.
He said not to worry about it. And she'll start to walk off to. I need to get dressed.
Absolutely, my love. Don't mind me. Lou will turn and saunter out of the room.
Tabitha will find comfort in her clothes.
Okay, do you two want to quickly introduce your characters? I kind of threw you in the deep end there, but
Yeah.
so Sarah, would you like to introduce Tabitha?
So Tabitha, she's Malkavian, and so she has a derangement. Her derangement essentially is that she hears voices, she sees visions, and she's never quite sure what's real or what's not. But professionally, she is a DJ because the music helps keeps the voices and things away. So she loves music, and she's typically listening to things. She's always got her headphones on or nearby. And she also has a shopping problem. She loves clothes. Try to get like whatever is in, as well as she can actually decipher what is in. She also has a couple regular voices that you'll probably meet as we go.
And
Matt, yep, go ahead.
I am Louis Gerard Facilier, but everyone calls me Lou because, well, the French are very pretentious with their long names, and I've long outgrown that. I am a toreador, or however the heck you pronounce that. He is absolutely beautiful. Long, wavy blonde hair, piercing eyes, a charming smile. Usually wearing as few clothes as is appropriate for the situation, which in the comfort of their own home is very, very scantily dressed, if dressed at all. He is obsessed with beauty and desire and lives for manipulation and has a bit of a sadistic side to him, but is very much loving towards his fellow vampires.
Excellent. Okay, so
I will add that Tabitha, one of the things is that she does have like shaved heads and a mohawk that's usually in a ponytail or down to the side, and it's whatever color Lou decides to dye it that week. I think right now it's just bleached white.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
she's doing a bit of a monochrome thing.
Yeah, she's also quite frail looking. A bit. She's quite thin.
Excellent. Okay, so Tabitha gets dressed in whatever clothes are a comfort to her that day. Louis also gets dressed in whatever clothes he feels comfortable in that day, or lack of clothes that he feels comfortable in.
Depends where they're going.
You are going to the club. Where you are meeting your fellow courtier.
Wonderful. In which case, then Lou is probably dressing up in a low-cut T-shirt with a woman's jacket, and wearing very tightly fitting trousers, um, with a pair of designer, very smart shoes.
Excellent. So you two make your way down to the club. This club is called The Thirst. It has expanded and exploded after the Twilight craze came along, where vampires came back into mainstream media and everybody loved them, wanted to be vampires. This club sort of came about in that craze, and managed to keep it up because of Tabitha and her music, and as well helped by Lou, who plays the part of a dashing vampire, and it's become a whole cultural underground thing where this club seems to be the only one of its kind that has survived in Holland. So you two make your way to the club. Tabitha is working for at least the first sort of couple of hours. So you get down to the club, and it's a bit slow. It has, where did it go? I've got some club music going on. Where on earth did it go? There it is. So there is music playing as you enter. Tabitha goes up to get her set ready. You've got a few hours. Well, you've got maybe about an hour until your set starts. And you have a bit of time to kill. You have recently been hearing a lot of rumors of people going missing for 3 days, always 3 days, and are being found with body parts removed. It's the talk of everybody because the last body was found 2 streets away from your club.
A security risk.
Exactly. So the day, well, I should say the evening before, you did put out a message for all of you to meet tonight to discuss this, because each person that has gone missing, the body parts that have been removed are for a specific purpose. You're not sure what that entirely is yet, because you have someone that is currently working on it, who happens to know quite a lot about the occult. So, in walks Chris. Would you like to introduce your character?
Sure, yes. My character is Reinhard Jaeger. He is a 20-something looking man. He has a scar under his left cheek from his days when he was actually a member of a fencing club at Munich University. He wears that actually with a bit of pride because it is a sign of honor to get one of these scars. He wears a black suit, red lining, white shirt, and a blood red tie. You're a bit too scared to ask him exactly what he means by blood red, but it's probably for the best. He's probably known that he's been researching stuff. He's probably walking in with a stack of books in some really strange writing that's half of it. He probably swaps between a couple of languages, you know, Latin, German. There's some strange symbols kind of scribbled down in it. And he will kind of walk up to the bar and order himself a whiskey.
Yep.
I mean, he's not going to pay for it.
No, you have a strange arrangement with the owner of this club, where, because obviously Tabitha gets paid for it, but Lou doesn't. But he brings in a lot of people. He's got a bit of a pair of obviously Tabitha and Lou both have a bit of a following. People know who they are if they're into that sort of subculture. So they bring in a lot of customers, a lot of revenue. So there's this unwritten rule that before the club opens, it's almost like a slight safe place where the music's loud enough that you can sit in a booth and nobody can hear you. So there's been a lot of meetings in this club because you don't have to worry about anyone overhearing you. The other person last to arrive that I imagine just appeared over someone's shoulder. Rob, would you like to introduce your character?
I was always here. Yeah, I'm playing Callahan Rothmere. He's everything that Lou is not. Often called the Rat, the Bat, Dog Man, Slime Face, the Wax Man. He was embraced by what's called a Nosferatu, and they get the lovely pleasure of being as gross as they are externally as they are on the inside. He has a pretty unfortunate condition where, as the evening goes on, his face starts to sag, almost like he's wearing a mask, and it actually melts off and drips onto the ground. His face is all hanging loose. His hair comes out of different parts of his face that it shouldn't. And he prides himself on being able to still navigate with mortals and never be seen. He wears a leather jacket, like what I've got on, never takes it off. Fashion and appearance are the last thing he's concerned about. He has designs on being somewhat respected in the vampire community and hangs out with these guys because he doesn't want to follow the traditions of the other Nos. He won't live in the sewers. He's got a lot of mobile phones, so he's the kind of paranoid tech man of the gang.
Excellent. So obviously Cal has heard a lot of the rumours that have been going on. He probably has a bit more of the inside knowledge of exactly what has gone on at these crime scenes than anybody else does. Nobody else was really bothered until the last body was found. And then it became your problem because that's your turf. And somebody managed to sneak in, leave a dead body, and leave without leaving a trace. Not that none that you can sense. You can't smell anything, you can't follow it at all. You have no idea what's going on.
Tabitha will be in our booth to talk.
Essentially, it's almost at the sort of back of the DJ booth.
Yeah. Cool.
Lou will be sat with her, just displayed out for anyone who passes by.
At the moment, the club is fairly empty. It's not opened yet. There's just lots of staff walking about,
Staff and people.
getting everything ready. They all know who you are. They probably all have slept with you at one point or another, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
But somehow they all managed to look at everybody bar Cal. Like it's almost like he's not there. Like their eyes just slide right over him. Just don't even see him. So you have Cal. You have a big bunch of. I don't know. Would you have physical files or would it all be digital?
Both. But he would never bring the digital files even here. They'll be like they won't be online on the cloud or anything. They'll be on phones back at his house where he lives in the wall. So he'll have like printouts and things of what he's been talking about. Probably lay them over the table and be like, I've been telling you about this for weeks.
Yes, and until this last one wasn't super relevant.
It's all relevant, Lou.
Yes, my dear. I'm sure for someone who has nothing better to do than to skulk around and spy on people, all of this seems very relevant. But I don't care who this person is, what they're doing. I'm a little peeved that they seem to be outshining me a little bit at the moment, but so long as they stay off our turf, I would have been happy to let them go on. So
I think we're being goaded. We'll never get Haven status if we have these murders happening around here.
So what did you find out? What's there's a lot of
Look at it. Yeah,
Stuff.
we'll start passing it around. What have they been missing?
Okay, so the first person was missing the pointer finger and the pinky finger on both hands. Nothing else, just those. You can't tell how they were killed. They still had all the blood in their body, but they were missing an index finger and their pinky finger. The next body, again, completely unharmed, apart from the fact that they were missing their middle 2 toes on both feet. The third body was missing a quarter of their tongue.
Yeah.
Again, nobody knows how they died. There seems to be no reason for why they're dead, apart from the fact that they are. The fourth body that was found 2 streets away from you was missing an ear and an eye. So it was their left ear and their right eye.
Does any of this sound like it could be used in a ritual? Like in a blood sorcery ritual, the body parts?
Possibly. You know that some rituals can use body parts and that there are specific body parts that can be used for specific reasons. Sometimes it's just a ritual thing, like it's not used for anything, it's just you need to sacrifice your hand for something. So parts of it sound familiar, but other parts are completely foreign to you.
I'll share that around the table and just say I think it's such sloppy work. Why did they leave the blood?
yeah, it seems quite wasteful, especially if it's one of ours.
If I could get to one of them, if I could get to one of the bodies, I might be able to tell if they're actually, well, easier tell if they're a vampire and who they belong to. Maybe that could help us rule out if it's an attack against a certain type.
That sounds like a job for the dog.
I wouldn't need much blood.
I'll get you whatever you need.
Well, if we could get a sample from each and then probably 3 or 4 full humans, I'll probably need those.
I can get you that.
And probably we'll need lots of plastic for the floor.
Are these all just a bunch of random people that were killed?
At the moment, there seems to be nothing that's connecting them from what you can see, but that's just from their names and what Cal has found and what's been reported in the news. Nobody can find a link between them.
And the first body, was that farther away and then they slowly got closer to us? Or is
No.
it...
They seem to be almost completely random from what you can tell.
Where are they now?
Where's who now?
Their bodies now.
Oh, they're all in the morgue at the police station.
Well, time for a field trip, children.
Indeed. I could speak to some officers as well. See if there's any
What you
information that you want to share.
what you also need to realise is every single body was found in a different courtier's area.
Oh.
Oh no.
Is there any...
Maybe we should just worry about the one that was in our area then.
Yeah.
Screw the rest of them.
So are you going to reach out to another courtier and find out
Not
what...
yet.
No?
No.
Let's see how we get on with the morgue and the police. We can work from there, I guess.
I think we should only focus on our one to begin with.
One that's missing a
Agreed.
left ear and a right eye.
Left ear and right eye.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I need to write notes.
Such random body parts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers, toes, tongues, ears, eyes.
Well, eyes and tongues can be used for a ritual.
I'm sure.
I can't do it, but it's something I'm working towards, and there is a way that you can use the eye and the tongue of a person to. Yeah, you have to ingest it. It's not very pleasant, but
To what end?
you learn the languages that they could speak.
Hmm.
So if the person spoke Portuguese, eat their eyeball, their tongue, can speak Portuguese.
It's just, if you want to speak the language, it's just the tongue. If you want to read it, it's what the eye is for.
So there is some certain things like that could be. I could maybe spend some time research and see if there's maybe a more powerful ritual that requires this many body parts. Or maybe they're making the world's smallest meat doll.
Or maybe they're trying to draw some attention to us and the other courtiers. At the
Lure
end
us
of the
into a
day.
fray.
Lure us into a fray or set us up for something. There are definitely
Illegal.
people out there that would be vindictive enough to try and set people like us up.
I'm not worried about the people.
I don't mind being blamed for killings, but I'd rather it be for people I actually killed.
Well, let's go find out from the dead man.
Before
Yes.
you do anything, all you hear is Tabitha!
That voice
You've got
is
5
real.
minutes before we open.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta work.
Have
I guess
fun.
you're staying, Tabitha.
I'll
Okay.
see.
You
Have
work,
fun.
Tabby Cat. We'll have a look. We'll be back later.
I will. I will go DJ.
Okay, so where are you guys heading then?
I don't walk around in a group. No offense, guys. I'm gone.
Okay, well, where are you going towards that you'll meet
uh,
them there?
I will meet you at the morgue.
Yeah, we'll head to the morgue.
You know I don't swim away from a dead body, but the morgue is still quite dreary and dull. I might head to the police station and, maybe spread my influence and ask some questions, see if I can find out anything else from them.
Sure, that's not the only thing you'll be spreading, but have fun.
Not on the job, my love, not on the job. After, maybe. Depends on the police officer.
Never known you to be picky. And I'm just
Oh,
going to start heading towards the.
darling. I am insulted.
Okay, so you are all going to meet at.
They're going to the morgue, I'm going to the
They're
police
going to the
station.
morgue.
Yeah.
Split the
Okay.
party! Woo!
Yay!
Split the party straight off the bat.
Yeah. Okay, so as yous are heading off, Tabitha, one of your, she's not a friend. She's just someone who is basically a fan. She's slightly obsessed with you. You feel like she's probably a little bit too young, possibly underage, to be in this club. But she's you're like her idol.
It's cute.
She's desperately trying to get your attention as your DJ. So she's literally like
Okay.
doing all these weird faces and like trying to.
Okay. And I'll put it where essentially it'll loop for a little bit, and so I'll have like a minute.
Yeah. She's just like,
Um,
Tabitha, I've heard something. Oh my god, right? Have you heard
Okay.
that there's another club opening,
Wait,
like
what?
on the other side of town?
No. What is
Yeah,
it?
it's supposed to be like another big vampire thing, but they're going like really realistic. So apparently, like, everybody's got fangs, and like there's actually like people like bleeding all over the place. Like, what is that? I thought this was supposed to be fake.
Well, it is.
But blood.
Yeah. That's really crazy. Maybe thanks for telling me. Maybe during my break I'll go check it out.
Did I do good? And she's like this.
You did really good. Good job.
Thank you. And she kind of like melts a little bit, and then she like scurries away into the crowd,
I'll
like
give her,
red faced.
I'll give her a drink ticket.
She's like, because in Holland the legal drinking age is 16.
Okay.
But in this club, it's 18, just because of the atmosphere and the music, and because there is. Obviously, he's gone slightly leaning into the vampire thing, so there are like potentially people with like fangs and things about. So he's just covering his own back, really.
Yeah.
But you can tell she's basically just recently turned 16. So yeah, so she like takes the ticket and like runs off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write that down.
Okay, so Cal and Reinhardt, you are off to the morgue, going very different ways, I assume.
Yeah, I'm going to swing past where I stay and pick up a couple of things.
Okay, what are you grabbing?
I'm grabbing an ornate silver letter opener, which looks probably sharper than it should for a letter opener. And there is a silver chalice that clearly looks like it's been stolen from a church at one point. It's quite old and battered, so we grabbing that. And I'll probably just pick up my briefcase, stuff them inside that, and just walk.
Okay.
But can I have this like longing glance at a room? There's a sealed door past where he works, and I'll be like looking at it for a second and then just walking off.
Okay. And how is Cal getting to the morgue then?
If I can, I would like to go in like through the freezer as a body, get processed.
Hey, how would you do that? Explain to me how.
So if there's any kind of like ventilation system in the freezer, I will find my way through, like the gross worm that I am, and just hang in there until they have to bring a body through and do the kind of autopsy thing, and then I'm in. Because when they open the bag, they won't be able to see me anyway.
Okay. Oh, I'm just trying to think what, because you're going to do the first roll of the evening.
Ooh.
Because I'm trying to think what on earth that would be. Because let's see. Yeah. Okay, so you're trying to essentially climb in through the freezer.
Yeah, they've got to have them, right? Sounds like a lot of people die here.
I mean, it is a big city.
Yeah, so they can't be processing them all in one night.
True, but to go, okay, because it's going to be the morgue at the police station because it's still an ongoing investigation. So at least you know where the body is. Okay, if you could roll me, let's see. I'm going to go stealth and athletics for me. So just however many dots you have in there.
I mean, yeah. No athletics.
So you're looking for a 6+ for a success. So you don't need to add them together, you just count the individual dice.
Okay, that's 3.
Okay, so you got, did you get any 10s?
I got 2 10s.
Oh, nicely done. Okay, in that case, no issues whatsoever.
Not my first time being dead.
That was 2 critical successes. So you, again, just essentially slip right in. Nobody notices anything. There's no noise. There's nobody around. You literally scale the wall like you've always been able to climb walls and get in with no issues.
Sure. Okay. Amazing.
Okay, what do you do when you're in there?
So you said this was a still ongoing investigation. So is the body that we're looking for? Can I see it on a autopsy table? Get into the actual room.
The room is locked from the outside.
Okay. How is it locked? By like a key?
No, it's almost
Keypad?
like kind of one of the freezers, because it's only locked in one way because nobody expects anybody to actually.
I mean, for the freezer. Yeah, that's fine. I can wait. Someone's got to come in eventually, do their job.
Yeah, just be aware though that if you do get too cold, you will have to roll for damage if you're in there for too long, because you can freeze.
I'll tell you what then. I'll frighten whoever's in there by banging on the freezer, and then when they come in to look in, I'll just walk out because they won't be able to see me.
Right,
Make them have a
okay.
really bad time at work.
They're having the worst day now, thanks to you. Okay, so you're essentially wanting to scare the crap out of somebody and then
use Cloak of
sneak
Shadows to
past
just
them.
walk in invisible. Yeah.
Right, okay. What was Cloak of Shadows again?
So it says, oh no, it's the other one. Unseen Passage. Sorry, it's called. It allows me to move and be functionally invisible. It says, as long as the user emits no overpowering odors or no sound louder than a whisper, the power automatically works. Only if the observer has their attention drawn to the user can they make a detection roll. Or if they have all specs, they can try to detect me hidden.
Yeah, that's fine. It would be immortal, so it wouldn't really matter. Okay, so
It says cost 1 rouse check.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So for that, let me get my thing for a rouse check. Pretty sure.
I'd like to remind all the other players that I do have the everything is connected thing. So once per session, one of you can substitute one skill pool for another of your choice, and then gain the
Ooh.
information based on the margin of success.
Nice.
So
That's very cool.
that's something that Tabitha brings to the group.
She does. She also brings lots of other things to the group that just nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-6, and I will get you to do a rouse check. That is not the one that I wanted. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you roll 1d10.
Okay.
If you get a 6 or higher, you succeed. If you fail,
I got a 9. I'm okay.
all right, okay. So yeah, you manage to bang on the door. All you hear from outside is Jesus fucking Christ! And things clatter everywhere. You hear something smash. It all goes silent. And then all of a sudden you can hear like panicked breathing, a heartbeat, and then someone slowly opens the door.
I just stiff pass.
And you can hear someone going, hello,
I don't say anything.
hello. And you can see them basically like prop the door open, and they go around and they basically like get a broom handle and they start poking all the dead bodies.
Yes.
While
While
So,
you're
yeah.
distracted, I'd like to. Is there another door into this place then? from where a normal person might come through.
Yes,
I-
from
Is,
where
is
a
that
normal person.
is that locked at all?
No, that one is
Okay,
not
cool.
locked.
All right, I'll keep an eye on it so that in case Reinhardt comes in.
Okay.
But I would like to. Yeah, I'm staring. I'm trying to find the body we're looking for now.
Okay. That's fine. So Cal is successfully, somehow magically, successfully in the morgue. How does Reinhardt get in?
Okay. I'd probably maybe walk around to see if there's what looks like a morgue person maybe having a cigarette break or something outside or something like that.
Okay, you do see people milling about outside. There's some people having a smoke. You can't tell who would work in the morgue and who is just a cleaner or an admin person or receptionist or anything like that. You can't tell who's who.
Okay. Do I see any police officers outside maybe having a smoke?
There's a few. As you notice these though, you do see Lou appear, because I imagine he is also going to the police station because the morgue is at the police station.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Lou, you notice Reinhardt out, obviously peering round the corner. You're both familiar with each other. What do the pair of you do?
You trying to get inside?
Yes, I need to get to the morgue.
Would you like a distraction?
Yes, please.
Lou, just very cockily kind of walks over towards the group of people outside the morgue, wherever this entrance is that Reinhardt's trying to get into. And I don't know how this works, so this is going to be an interesting thing. But
what are you trying to do?
Well, I have a power from my discipline, which is called Awe, where anyone in the presence of the vampire finds their attention inexplicably drawn to them. Those listening to the vampire speak might suddenly agree on subjects where they once held different viewpoints. While this power doesn't cause rapt infatuation, it is strong enough to sway the minds of most mortals. It's essentially just a thing where I can speak in front of a group of people and just like draw their attention and get them to agree with me on stuff.
Okay.
I don't know how powers work in this game though, so
that's fine. Okay, so you said it was awe, yeah?
Or yeah, so this so I add the presence rating to any skill involving persuasion or performance, as well as to other charisma related roles at the storyteller's discretion. Anyone aware that they're being affected might try to resist, using composure and intelligence versus my manipulation plus presence. But on a win, the target can resist the effects of one scene. A critical win makes the target immune for the entire night. Once the power wears off, victims revert to their previous opinions.
Okay. Get it up in front of my face would be helpful. Okay. And let me just see. That is a what on earth is it called? It's an I have too many screens open.
Basically, I'm going to go over to these people that are outside having this smoke break to try and distract them, by basically playing a little bit of a damsel in distress, and start causing a little bit of a fuss and a stress about the killings that have been going on, and doing the whole And what are the police doing about all of this? Absolutely nothing. We can't just sit around and wait while this monster is on the loose and destroying the lives of the people in this city.
Okay, and you're just doing it to the random mortals that are around, yeah?
Yeah, the ones who are around who basically get their attention on me so that Reinhold can slip into the morgue behind them.
Okay, if you want to roll your manipulation and presence.
Manipulation and presence.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm looking for 6s and higher.
Yep. And if you get 10s, let me know.
I got 1 success.
Oh, that's not great. Did you get any 1s?
I did, yeah. I got 2 1s.
Oh, that's not great. Okay, basically, as you go to do all of this, they basically turn around and they look at you and they're like, what? Just completely unimpressed. They've had people that have said worse, done worse. They barely even flinch. They hardly acknowledge you. One of the guys comes up to you and goes, mate, if you've got an issue, you're talking to the wrong people. You need to go around the front. We don't care. It's none of our business. We're just here to do our jobs. Everybody else basically just ignores you.
That is disappointing.
Okay. I'm gonna. Is there somebody on their own?
Yes.
Who maybe has a key card on them or something like that to maybe show that they work?
It's not key cards as such. It's basically they've got like a kind of name tag on to say that they work. They're like, some of them say like cleaner, some of them obviously it's just a name badge. Some people obviously work in some of the offices, so they don't really have any. You can tell that everybody there works there though.
Is there a cleaner on their own?
Let's see. Okay, it's not an let me see, I'm just trying to think of what it would be. Yeah, do an awareness and intimidation check. No, not intimidation, sorry, investigation. I was reading the wrong word.
Okay, I've got 4 in investigation, nothing in awareness.
That's fine, just roll 4.
Roll 4, okay. I've got 2 8s, a 5, and a 7.
Okay, so that's a success.
Yay!
Okay, so you do notice at the back, the guy that kind of walked up to Lou left his mate at the back. He is completely oblivious to what is going on. He looks like he's having the worst night ever. Not quite as bad as the guy in the morgue that Cal scared the crap out of.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's having like a really crappy night, just can't be bothered, smoking a cigarette, clearly not giving a crap.
I'm gonna walk up to him, pull out one of my cigarettes and ask him if he's got a light.
He kind of looks you up and down and he's like, sure. Pulls out a lighter.
And then as he's looking at me, I'm going to try and use compel against him.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see how that goes.
It depends if he's unprepared or not.
Probably not prepared.
Yes. That's fine.
Because,
that means no roll is required.
Yeah, he's wholly unprepared for this. Like,
yeah.
He's just literally, like, say, having the worst night of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that he thinks of in his life. And you've just gone up, asked for a light. He's not aware of...
It's the worst day of his life so far.
I mean, it's gonna be.
Yep.
But yeah, he, again, wasn't... He just gave you a lighter. he wasn't expecting anything. What are you gonna try? What are you gonna compel him to do?
I'm going to compel him to take me into the morgue and show me the body, and take me into the morgue to the body that was found dead on whatever the street near us was.
Okay. Oops. Hold on, I'm just gonna quickly read up on compel. Okay. Okay. That's fine. He again was not expecting it. Nobody ever really bothers because it's round the back. It's where all smokers are. It's a police station. Nobody really wants to sneak in through the back. So yeah, he almost gets this kind of glazed look over his eyes, and he's like, "Yeah, sure," and basically types in a code, opens the door, and lets you in.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk in, look around for my friend. Be like,
Yeah, you hear the door shut behind you, and then you hear this person go, "I haven't got my lighter in my hand," as you walk away. Okay, so you're gonna try and find Cal.
Yep.
Okay. It's a police station. It's fairly not self-explanatory, but there are sort of signs for places because it's still a public building. So you find the morgue easily enough. I assume, Cal, that you're still being super sneaky hidden.
Yeah, I'm stood in the corner watching this mortician do their work.
This poor one that you scared the crap out of earlier.
I was going to put him in the fridge. He got a float me. I decided against it. Yeah, I'm just watching him, waiting for him to work on the body I'm interested in. Okay. And to see where he records his information. Is it like paper? Is it on iPad?
It's a bit of both. They have obviously paper copies to be kind of filed away, but most things obviously, like there's been x-rays, MRI scans, CAT scans, there's been tox screens, like results, there's all sorts of different things in the room. Some stuff obviously has to get sent away. But yeah, there's like a computer with all the files there, but there's also a filing cabinet, that's the word I was looking for. There's a filing cabinet that's obviously full of information as well.
I want to watch him for as long as I can so I can like learn the pin and stuff on the tablet. Literally, I'll just be behind him the whole time, on it, breathing over his shoulder, watching him work, and yeah, stealing all his data.
Okay. Does Reinhardt notice this and stay quiet, or are you going to?
Well, I'm technically still invisible, so nobody can see me unless they're.
That's fair, but you do have. It's not a bond, but obviously you've been around each other enough that Reinhardt probably knows you're somewhere in that room.
Yeah, you can probably sense that I'm in the room.
Yeah, there's no way that you're not in that room at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And when if he walks in, I'll literally come up right next to him and be like, "What took you so long?" Understood.
Yeah, I like it literally one word answer, yeah.
Yeah, me and Reinhardt understand each other. And he'll just like kind of move your body a little bit towards where the corpse we want is.
Okay, are you going to say anything to the mortician? Reinhardt. Are you going to make your presence known, I should say? Although, bear in mind, he is slightly jumpy at this point.
Oh, hi.
A part of me is like, should we just knock him out?
He'll whisper in like, yeah, I'm going to follow him home later. I want to see if he has nightmares about tonight.
So you want me to knock him out?
Do what you do.
I mean, that's usually bad things. Okay.
I do look over at the freezer again, like having second thoughts.
Is he facing away from us?
Yes, he's kind of any little noise, anything that beeps or anything like that, he's kind of jumping and looking about. So he is quite jumpy, but he is still trying to do his job because he was at the computer typing up a report when
Amazing.
Cal banged on the freezer door.
Okay.
So yeah, he kind of has his back to you, but if you're not super stealthy, he will know you're there. So I do need you to roll stealth.
Okay, I will try. What have I got for stealth? I've got 1.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm gonna try and be stealthy with 1 dice. That was a 6.
Oh, okay. So that is a success, which is good. So you do manage to sneak up behind him without him hearing you.
Is there because we're obviously the morgue and they've got those fridge things, is there a fridge door near his head that's closed?
No, this body that he's working on is in the middle of the room.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
The table it's on, is it bigger than the body? Is there areas around the table for him to put stuff on?
Not, I mean, kind of, he's got like a kind of tray next to him. So it's basically almost like a big open space where you can walk around the whole table. There's things dotted off to the side, there's machines beeping everywhere. He's got a tray next to him. So obviously he'd been like scraping under fingernails and drawing blood. This is not the actual corpse that you are looking for that he is working on.
This one.
It's a different one. But obviously if Cal's been watching him for, I would say it probably took about, I imagine Cal moves places very, very quickly. So I imagine it's been probably about half an hour since Cal came into the morgue. So he was typing up reports, he got emails on things. So you were watching him for a while, but that body in the middle of the room is not the one you were looking for. But he has been, like say, taking hair samples, checking under fingernails, taking blood samples and things.
So we don't know if he's gone to he's actually looked at our one yet.
It's been a few days, you imagine it's at least had the basics done.
What's around me where I am?
If you're by the door, not much. Everything is slightly further into the room.
Okay, is there any empty trays that I could get to?
Yes, but you would have to do another stealth check to pick one up without him hearing.
Okay, I'll give it a go. I'm gonna go after the tray.
Okay.
That was a 4.
Oh, that is fail.
Okay.
Not critical, but still a fail. So as you go to pick one up, it clinks, and because he's been so jumpy already, he immediately walls around to look at you. So he's like, "Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing? Why are you here?" And he holds out like stuff that he's got. It's like cotton swabs and things, but he's holding them up like weapons.
Okay. I'm gonna move closer to him while still holding the tray. Go, look, I'm really lost. I was supposed to meet my friend, and then the cleaner brought me in here when I asked to see them. They were found a few streets along, and I'll name the street. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just a bit confused.
Are you looking for a body?
Well, I don't know. I was told nothing, just that my friend was here. I don't know if it's some sort of cruel trick.
What's your friend's name? And he's literally like, wait, no. Why? How come you're here unaccompanied? How come you don't have a visitor badge?
It must have fallen off.
And at this, he's sort of slowly moving towards the desk with the phone.
Okay, I'm going to use potence. Use lethal body and just bonk him on the head with the tray to knock him out.
Right, okay. Let's see. Right, okay. So you're using lethal body, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit harsh.
Well, I don't know how much damage I would actually do.
It says, using this power, the user is capable of causing horrendous damage to mortals, tearing skin and breaking bones with bare fingers.
As long as you
Pretty
don't
sure
kill
if
him.
you
Oh
try
yeah,
to
I might
whack,
just cave his skull in with a
Yeah.
tray.
yeah,
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Yeah.
You should be able to just hit him with like brawl or something, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
bonk him with the tray.
Yeah.
Try and knock
That's
him
one
out.
of those where if you tried, you'd probably almost rip his head off
Yeah.
with a tray. Just
I'll just go for the classic, like just try and like hit him in the side of the temple with the tray and try and knock him out.
okay. If you want to roll, it'll probably be athletics and brawl because
Okay.
he has moved away from you, so you do.
Okay,
need
I've
to...
only got 2, so
Let's see if he does.
that's a 5 and a 2.
Oh, God.
Okay, so as you go to move towards him, he flails like a raven lunatic, manages to somehow miss your swing. You manage to just miss his head. Because he's literally like he squeals, flails about a bit. You again go to smack him, you miss, and he leaps for the phone to try and phone security.
Right, can I pull the phone cord out of the phone?
You can, yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like,
Okay, are you still? I assume you're still hidden when this happens.
I am, but yeah, you can feel Reinhardt can feel my like what the
Yeah.
hell and tension leading through the room.
Okay, so this guy goes to pick up the phone and freaks because there's no dial tone. He then tries to throw the phone. Bearing in mind, it's still one of the old-fashioned corded ones. He tries to throw the phone handle at Reinhardt. Doesn't do anything, but he's panicking. Like
That's just a bit rude.
This mortal is panicking, like full-blown, about
Okay.
to shriek and try and...
So, because of my Tomcat predatory thing, I have grappling under brawl. What does that give me?
Yes.
It gives you almost an advantage when you go to
Okay.
grapple someone.
I'm just going to grapple him then.
Okay.
It might be easier to knock him unconscious when I've
Yeah.
grappled him.
Do you have anything in brawl?
2
Okay.
and grappling.
So yeah, so you would roll 2 for brawl and then add 1 for the grappling.
What, add 1 dice?
Yeah.
So 2, 4, 4.
Is there any way I can help him?
You can if you want to. I don't. What would you try to do to help him?
I don't know. I'm not really a wrestler. This is supposed to be their
Yeah, but
house.
obviously, bearing in mind he can't see you at the moment.
Yeah, I am a vampire as well. I think I would like to lean in behind him, take his pass off of his chest, and just say, "We know where you live. Sit down."
Okay, if you want to try stealth and intimidation for me,
Right.
and see how you get on.
2 successes and 1-1 if that matters.
Oh. Okay, so 2 successes and a critical failure. God.
We're just the worst.
You were doing so well.
Yes, it's this guy. As soon as I got
We're
involved.
gonna blame
No,
Blue. He
I'm just
started
going to break
off on
out
that.
lethal body next time. He's
Oh,
had his
no.
chance.
Please
Don't
do
kill
that.
him. Don't kill him.
I mean, I could just break his legs.
Yeah, that's fine.
Could, but bearing in mind you are in a human.
Is there something I could break that would keep him compliant yet isn't lethal?
Okay, so let me see.
Okay.
You. Okay, so technically it would be a messy success.
Oh no.
So you can do that. You would roll.
see success. That's fun.
I'm just trying to help.
I love that part of games where you still succeed. It's just not in the way you expected, and there's
Mm.
bad things. That
Yeah.
can happen.
It's going
It's
so
more fun
well
than
so
just
far.
failing.
Failing forward.
Always.
Kind of. Okay, so okay. You do that. You manage to pull his obviously tag off and whisper in his ear.
Mhm.
As he does that, he is still holding something in his hand. It's like cotton swabs and bits and pieces like that, but he turns around and manages to stab you in the face with the plastic bit of cotton. But so he didn't know you were there. He freaked, spun around and managed to like stab you. So now there's just this cotton thing
Disgusting.
sticking out of your face. At this, he does now see you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's worse for him. That is a real.
Yeah. So what is the
Try and grapple him again.
Yeah. This guy needs to sit down.
I think if I can grapple him, I can knock him out.
Oh, you don't need to. As he sees Cal's face, he faints.
Yeah.
His fortitude was not great. As literally this thing, he saw you in this lovely suit, and then you tried to kill him, or let's say at least what he thinks. And then he turns around and there's essentially a monster in his face with this cotton bud sticking out of his face, and he faints.
So, Cal, one question.
Yes.
Can he actually live now? Because he's seen you.
Don't be so dramatic. Do you think anybody believes? What's he going to tell them?
Do you know if is there any syringes in this room?
Yes,
I would
it's a
assume
morgue.
so.
That's fine. I'm going to keep one for later.
Oh, right,
What do you-
okay.
He seemed
Wow.
quite free-spirited. His blood might be useful.
What you do realise is as he'd fainted, he did crack his head on the floor. There now is a scent of blood in the room.
I'm going to put his name tag away in my coat and be like, can we hurry up? This is way messier than I like.
Yep. I'm going to go to the... I'll ask Cal, do you know where the body we need is?
I'm going to jump onto his computer and be like, of course I do, and start like finding out where the answer is.
Well, I'm just going to dip a finger in the blood that's coming out of this guy's skull.
Okay.
I'm going to be like,
and just take a taste of it.
Okay.
Using my just because I can, my taste for blood.
Okay.
I just get some basic traits of... I need to roll something. Resolve plus blood sorcery.
Yep.
Whatever that means.
So your resolve is your resolve.
Okay, that's 3.
Your
And
blood
blood
sorcery is
sorcery
how
is 2.
many dots? Yeah.
2. So is that 5 things I throw?
Yep. So it's resolve and blood potency.
Okay. Well, I've got a 10, a 4, a 3, and 2 5s.
10, a 4, 3, and 2 5s. Okay, so it's still classed as a sort of messy crit. So the resonance and intensity. So this will come in later when you get hungry, by the way. So their resonance, let me see if I can find it. It's not that one. It is this one. Okay. So their resonance is melancholy. It does come in handy when you need to feed, by the way. I will come into that when it appears.
Okay.
And the intensity is at a 2.
Yeah, especially well, this blood is relatively weak and has left me feeling quite sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that wine that Louis tries to push onto everybody.
We stay focused.
Okay.
I'm always focused. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. You found the body?
Yeah. Can I find it in the system?
Yeah, it's fairly easy. Like some of the emails that are popping up are about talk screens and things for this body, because again, it's because it's now becoming a fairly high profile case. Everything that's about the bodies is coming through quite quickly.
Okay. Gonna kind of open the freezer and pull the bit that the body's on out, so it kind of drops down is there.
Yeah.
I think the first thing to do is lift the gums up, see if there is actually any fangs.
Okay, there are no fangs.
Oh, so they're not a vampire.
Nope, these people are mortals for all intents and purposes. They're just dead.
Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick check of the body, see if there's anything else maybe that would stand out to either somebody's a kindred or somebody's deals in blood source. See if there's anything else that's kind of triggering any kind of this is weird.
Yeah, at the moment there's nothing. Bear in mind all their organs have been taken out.
No tattoos on the skin?
Nope, nothing. They seem to be, if you passed them in the street, you would probably never remember them. But they don't seem like they're homeless. They don't seem like there's no marks of, like none of the usual signs of like anybody that's been living rough or anything like that. They just seem like an average mortal. Nothing special about them.
Get what you need and let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a syringe, extract like some of their blood, dump it in my briefcase, because if they're not a vampire, the ritual is no use here.
Bearing in mind that there's no blood in the body.
Oh, they've taken the blood. Damn them!
Obviously, the body's been,
Strange.
autopsied.
Put away,
so
yeah.
they've drained all the blood. So there is blood, but you need to find it in the fridge.
Yeah.
To the fridge.
We should be good at that, right? We must be able to.
Yeah, I'll go look
Yeah,
at the fridge.
it's all labelled. Like there's literally a label on the thing with a number, and you just match that number. It's not rocket science.
I'll take one like bag.
Well, it's vials, but yeah.
Is it vials? I'll take like a couple of vials, but from the back, so somebody looking probably wouldn't notice them.
Okay.
And then I'll ask a dear friend to take if he can take a picture of his face and see if he can find out anything about him.
I imagine Cal is very good with.
Yeah, I'll ask Cal if he can work his magic on that social media thing that I stay off.
I'll find him.
Good. Well, this was a bit messy.
Okay, so you have got everything that you came for, I assume? You're all happy now? Well, as happy as you can be, considering all went horribly wrong.
It's an absolute mess, yeah.
Excellent. How are you now getting out of the building?
I'm just going to walk out.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back out the way I came.
Okay. I feel like it's gotten to that time of night. It's now probably coming up about 2 o'clock in the morning. Tabitha, your set has been finished for a while, by the way. I will swing back to you in a sec.
That's fine. I kind of wanted to do something during the set.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll swing back to you in a sec. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it's that time of night, everything's really quieting down. The only things that are happening are at the front of the police building.
Yeah, avoid that
You
part.
know, yeah. So yeah, that's fine. You's managed to leave, nobody really notices you, and you head on your way. What's Tabitha been doing on her set?
So she's getting lost in her music. She's doing her thing. She keeps thinking about this body that was found and the notes that she saw specifically about it. The one that was, it's in their perf. And I want to see if she can rouse up a premonition to see how they died, like this scene of death, essentially. The scene of the murder, almost, to see if there's any information she'd possibly seen.
Okay,
Looks like she's going into a trance.
Okay.
While doing trance.
I mean, yeah, techno trance, fair. Okay, so is that just a specific Tabitha thing?
That's her aspects.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so that's premonition
Yeah,
specifically.
aspects.
So it's resolve and aspects to actually, it's a rouse check.
Okay.
Unless you give it to me for free.
I mean, I feel like you could. It is sort of kind of tied into her sort of background. Everything's kind of happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if she's properly in the zone, then you can. I'll probably give, instead of trying to like explain something, I'll give you sort of 3 questions if you want to ask, and I'll see.
All right, cool.
Just I don't know what you're looking for in your vision, so.
Does Tabitha see more than one person?
Are
when
you
the victim? She wants to essentially visit the time of death for the victim.
Okay. You go back. You see this person.
Yeah.
Has just walking down the street from the back. You can't really tell whether they are male or female, but you know it's the person that you are looking for. They are walking down the street. Nothing unusual. There's a person with a dog, pet dog, just continue on their way, just seem fairly ordinary.
During the day?
Yes. Walking about during the day. It looks like they're walking through a park.
Okay.
All of a sudden they hear sort of shrieking, sounds like kids at play. So again, walking through a park. You get, in between all of this, you get flashes of screaming. Not happy screaming, horrified screaming. But it almost seems it's so jarringly out of place. So it looks like, again, you can hear the laughter of children, people talking, dogs barking, running around, normal human things that they do during the day. And then cut through it all, there's screaming and almost what here's like chanting, but it's not in anything that you recognize.
Okay.
All you can see though is just, again, flashes of park. There is.
Recognize the park?
Not from the glimpses that you get.
Okay.
At the moment. Again, it just seems to be, it's almost like a small kind of local one instead of like a big, like public park. It's almost like a sort of small neighborhood kind of one.
Yeah.
Again, through it all, you get flashes of like hands, the back of someone's head. You get visions of them almost kind of like they're catching themselves in a reflection, but you can't quite tell. Like,
victim,
you know that,
or somebody else?
the victim.
Okay.
Again, you get flashes of someone else, not the victim, but you get flashes of like their back and their hands. Nothing distinct. it's almost like this person wasn't fully aware of what was going on when everything happened. There doesn't seem to be any blood. There doesn't seem to be anything at the moment that you can identify fully.
Yeah.
But you almost feel like there's something there, something you just almost have to break through. And then
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, all of a sudden though, you hear someone go back off and it shoves you, and you fall backwards. At your DJ set, you're in the zone, you're in a trance, and all of a sudden it feels like someone shoves you and you go flying backwards.
Oh.
So there's like the whole proper like as you like rip all your equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, don't like that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. They don't normally touch me. They don't normally push me.
So obviously all of a sudden, because the music almost cuts off, you hear
Yeah.
people start immediately, the crowd's like, whoa, yeah, music, whoa! And they're all like booing and obviously-
Coming over, 1, 2, 3, bam, and she'll just drop the beat and just keep going.
so then you hear them all going, yeah, because they all think it's part of your thing. And
Yeah, naturally.
yeah. Played it off.
Yeah. Oh, that was weird.
Okay, anything else you want to do while your set's still ongoing?
No, I think she'll just now get fully in the music and try to avoid hearing anything, because
Yeah.
that kind of was jarring.
Okay, so now Lou, after his disastrous attempt the first time, with these poor workers at the back that clearly have no time for someone that looks gorgeous because they're just not interested in anything apart from just going home. What are you doing after that?
I want to go in the front entrance of the police station and walk up to the front desk and just whoever's there at the front desk and say, "I'm very sorry to disturb you. Who would I talk to if I wanted to give a witness statement?"
Oh, hello, good evening. It's this fairly young man at the front. You can tell, you know, he's kind of got the slightly girly thing with lovely hair. And he's very much, you could tell he was literally like throwing a pen on it, like trying to look professional while being slightly bored. Immediately eyes light up and he's like, oh, hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, and he's like trying to talk. He's a little bit starstruck. And he's like, yeah, what the statement? Yeah, I can help with that. Yes, I can help with that. Where? What was it about? Just so flustered.
He'll just kind of like lean forward and place his hand down and just get as close as he can without it being inappropriate in a police station. Just go. Because it's all right, and it may be nothing. That dreadful killing that happened, that was in the news recently. I was in the area. I live in that area and saw a couple of figures out that night that seemed a bit shifty, and well, I don't know if it'll be relevant or helpful to anyone, but if it is, I wouldn't feel like a true citizen if I didn't do my due duty, you know? I don't know if... I assume the detective in charge of this case isn't currently available. I imagine they're probably at home, but if there is someone here who is connected to that case that I could maybe speak to just to give an official statement, I'm hoping it might be helpful.
Okay. You can tell that basically only about a third of the words actually like reached his brain. Properly like twinkly eyes just full blown took in every third word. So he's like, yeah, statement, detective, what case? Sorry. He goes, you have lovely eyes. And then he's like, sorry, it goes like bright red, like the same color as your jacket.
He
Bright red.
just smiles and just goes, thank you. And reaches forward and just kind of brushes a strand of hair out his face and goes, I love your hair. It's okay. It was related to that awful business that happened in, like, whatever. What's our neighborhood called?
I have that written down somewhere, but I know what you mean. I'll figure that out in a minute.
In the neighborhood. The other day, that awful murder that's been in the news. I believe I saw someone or some people that night that seemed to be a bit shifty, and I would just like to give an official statement to the fact. That's all. Is it you who takes these statements, or is there a detective from the case currently available?
Oh, I mean, if they're not available, I could take a statement. I'd have to see if they're in. And he does this whole thing of going at the computer, and you see him kind of
see if they're
look.
in, but we can talk more afterwards.
And you can almost see him get so disappointed because it looks like obviously he's found that someone is in and didn't want to find someone. And he's like,
yeah,
yeah, it looks like someone is in at the moment. I can phone and see if they're busy. If they're busy, I can take your statement and all your details, and then we can get you to come back in when they're in.
I think we should do this the right way when it's official. But afterwards, what time do you finish?
You see this like, not until morning, unfortunately. But we could go for breakfast. And then he kind of goes, no, I can't.
It's okay. How about this? Let me go speak with the detective. We'll do this the right way when it's official business. And then afterwards, maybe I take your phone number, in case I think of anything else that I might want to, any other statements that I might want to give. And I have then a direct point of contact to yourself.
And you didn't think it was possible, but he gets redder. And he's like, I'm gonna phone the detective. No, he kind of like turns his chair around a little bit. Thank you, then darling. Like phones, and it's literally like, hi, literally like trying to be like really going, I don't know why I just did that, and I'm incredibly embarrassed. So he's like, hi, Detective Michaels. It's David down here in reception. Yeah, I've got someone that is wanting to do a witness statement. Yeah, he says he saw something about the case the other day. Okay. I'll send him up. You can see him kind of going, oh. Then he sort of like slowly spins round and he's like, oh, Detective Michaels will see you now. He's on the 3rd floor. If you take the lift down there and you head up, there's signs.
Lou just kind of reach forward and just casually touch his arm, just go, thank you, David. I'll be back later.
As you turn around and walk away, you just hear him giggle. He's literally like, and then he's like that, trying to like compose himself.
Yeah, and then I follow his directions and head up to wherever this detective is.
Okay, so you head up to the 3rd floor. As the lift doors open, there is someone waiting for you. This
Detective
is just...
Michaels?
Yes, she is about 4'8". She has short dark hair, She has a proper no-nonsense attitude. She couldn't care less what you look like. She is not affected by your looks in any way, shape, or form. She is here to get the job done. You can sense that everybody is almost terrified of her. Not because she's like mean, but just because she doesn't take anybody's crap. Like, if you own up to something, excellent. If you don't, she will make your life a living hell. So she's literally like, come with me, and she literally turns on her heel and walks away from you.
And just go, yes, ma'am. And follow behind her.
She just doesn't even flinch. So she leads you into her office, and offers, obviously gestures to the seat on the other side of the desk. She's like, so how can I help you, Mr. And she's got typing up in front of her.
Peter, please.
Mr. Peter?
Peter, just Peter.
How can I help you this evening? You wanted to make a witness statement?
Yes, see, I live in the area where that nasty business happened the other night, and I work late, so I was up at the time and out on the street, and as I was walking home from work, I noticed these two strange figures in the area. At the time, I felt a bit nervous and a bit concerned, but I just picked up my pace and passed by as quickly as I could. I don't know if they would be. I can give you some descriptions, of course, and I have no idea if it would be useful information, but I wanted to at least do my due diligence. One of them was rather tall but lanky. I'd say maybe around 6'3", and was wearing this black jumper over a set of dark jeans. He had rather scraggly dark hair, and his face was... He didn't look old, but he looked tired. Maybe in his early 30s, but someone who had not been particularly healthy. And the other chap that was there, he was a bit shorter than that man. I'd say maybe closer to about 5'11", and had a bit of a belly on him. And he seemed to be wearing some kind of long dark coat, a bit more plump in the face, but with I don't really see his hair. He had this what do you call them, a beanie on. But they were both in the area at the time, and just made me very uncomfortable when I was around them.
Okay, so as you are describing all of this, she is typing it up. But I will need you to roll performance and persuasion for me.
Performance and persuasion. Okay,
Yep.
that's 5 dice for me. Oh, that's 5 successes.
Oh, wow.
That's 6, 6, 6, 7, 9.
Okay. That's good. She did better. She got 2 critical successes.
God.
So she she's not quite sure whether she fully believes you or not. They've had a lot of different witness statements coming about for different things. There's something about you that's putting her slightly on edge. Like you're almost too good in your descriptions for it being supposedly late at night and dark. And the fact that you can see all of this, but you haven't really explained where you saw them. There's something about it that she doesn't fully believe you.
I have a Hail Mary option here. Which is to use my entrancement upon her.
Okay.
So
what are you wanting out of this exchange?
Essentially, I'm actually just trying to I'm trying to get a contact number for someone on the case.
Okay. She is on the case. Like,
Yeah.
she is obviously not.
I'm trying to at least convince them enough that I might be a viable witness, that I could get a direct contact number to one of the detectives, in this case her, so that if we in the future need to try and get some information, I might have a way in.
Okay, so you're going to try and entrance her.
That's a Hail Mary shot if I try that, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my... if she's rolled that well, then that's probably the only thing I've got left that I can try and do.
Okay.
It's charisma plus presence for me versus her composure plus wits.
Okay, so I need you to do the charisma and presence. Composure and wits. Okay.
That is 3 successes on my part, because I got a 10 and an 8, and no fails. No ones even.
Okay, she got a 1 and a 10, so that kind of, it's very, very messy. Okay, I also need you to roll a dice for a rouse check. So just 1d10.
1d10. Okay. 8.
Okay, that's fine. You're still fine. Okay, so while she doesn't fully believe you, again, there's something funny about it. She's almost suspicious enough to almost want to keep you close. Like, the way you've described things almost sounds like you're trying to take the scent off of someone. So you've got what you wanted, just in a completely different way.
But
so
now you're a suspect.
Yeah, it's not quite suspect. It's more.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm innocent of this.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, so she is very much. I don't believe you, but I am suspicious of, like, how good that description was, and also of how, like, the fact that you're such a noticeable presence. So why hasn't anyone else come forward about you if anyone else was around? So she's like, okay, so you can see in her eyes, she doesn't fully trust you, but she's like, okay, so she asked you a couple more questions, like where you were when you saw these people, what you were doing, where were you going.
Thanks to Cal's notes, I know where the murder and that happened, so yeah. I kind of just placed myself near that area, and
so she's like, okay, and she will ask for your actual name. Um, because she doesn't, obviously the fact that you immediately were like Peter, because if you wanted to give an anonymous witness statement, you could have just phoned in like other people. So she's like, okay, thank you very much for your witness statement. Obviously we will look into what you've said. If I can get your actual name and a contact number for you, just in case we have any follow-up questions.
Of course. My actual name is Louis. And I apologize for not being straightforward with that, but I have a bit of a following, and trying to avoid getting my name attached to such a high-profile case of this nature would be bad for my reputation. But of course, I understand that is not the appropriate way to go about it, and I apologize.
At this, she doesn't thaw really, but you can see that she kind of softens a little bit, because she, as someone admits their mistake, that's a kind of like plus in her book.
Yes.
So she's like, okay, Louis, thank you for your honesty and thank you for your statement. And she goes, here's a card. She'll pass you over like her card. It doesn't have her mobile on it, but it does have her actual extension number. So it means you wouldn't have to go through reception or anyone else to get to talk to her.
Direct line to her.
Yeah.
And Louis will also hand her a card which has got one of his numbers on it. But it's also got links to like his Instagram and things like that on it.
Yeah, his Instagram, his TikTok, all his social medias.
Yeah. And you can see like he's got quite the following on Instagram because of his artwork.
Yeah, she literally like looks at it and she's like, thank you.
Of course. And yes, I will contact you if anything else comes to mind. And of course, please feel free to contact me if you need anything.
She's like, okay, if you do remember anything else, or if you see those people again, please call.
Absolutely.
And then she's like, thank you.
You're most welcome. And it was a pleasure to meet you, Detective Michaels.
It was interesting to meet you too.
I get that. And he'll stand up and walk out of the room, head on back to the front desk, and quickly get David's phone number as well. And
yeah, he's got it all. He's got it on a card, and it's like already ready for you when you come down. And he's just like not even looking. He's like looks like he's like raking through filing cabinets and things, looking busy. Yeah, he's trying that, but obviously, like you can see his ears are going red from the back. Like the number's already there, ready and waiting.
He'll just take the card and look at it for a second, and pocket it and go, "Thank you for your help. Good night, David."
You just hear this little squeak, and he's like,
and yeah, he'll head out and start heading back to the club.
okay, so you're all back at the club. By the time you finally make it back, obviously Tabitha's set is over, has been for a while. Other DJs are playing. It is winding down now. It's coming to about 4 o'clock in the morning. The club is going to close soon. Are you all staying at the club, or are you going to go back to the house, apartment?
Oh, I think because it's like a 3-point place. Like I imagine we probably got something like yeah, it's like a luxury. No, it's a luxury 4-point place. So I imagine we've got maybe like a villa or something. Something
Possibly, but to be fair, in the middle of The Hague, it's probably not quite that. You've probably got maybe
like maybe a big studio
like
loft or something.
penthouse suite.
Penthouse suite.
potentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Penthouse. Yeah, I think that works. Penthouse.
So you've
suite.
got like river views and you can see the beach where you are. Stuff. Not that it matters because you
blackout
can't.
curtains.
Obviously, like I
Yeah.
imagine it's not even curtains. I imagine it's like the actual like stick-on
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So that nobody can accidentally pull a curtain down.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that'd be bad.
And yeah, so I imagine you probably have. It's like one of those very exclusive places, so you actually have to have a key. So your front door is the lift entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a key straight up to your lift, so you don't even have a front door.
Yeah.
I think after Tabitha's set, she might go try to find this other club, depending on how far it is. She'd probably try to find first the fan to get a name of the club and
Okay.
the area it's in.
Okay, so you probably spend about maybe 30 seconds looking for her, and she just pops up right in front of you.
Right.
Like the moment you come off, like the moment your set's finished and you're swapping over with someone else, the moment you
Yeah.
step out the booth, she's literally like, pop! She could probably give Cal a run for his money. The fact that he just popped up out of nowhere. Just this tiny little, essentially, like newly 16-year-old.
Yeah.
She's like all starry-eyed at you for a totally different reason than David
Yeah.
was at Lou. But she's like, oh my god, that set was amazing, and the way that you just went silent and disappeared, and then you were like, bam, drop the beat, and she's like,
Yep, totally planned.
and she's like sweating like she's
I've
been in
been
the
working
middle of
on
it all.
that for like a week.
She's like, oh my god, it was so good, nobody knew what was happening, we all thought you died. And then she's like, and then you were just like, boom, and everybody went crazy.
Yeah. That club. What was the name of it? Do you know?
Oh, no, hold on. And then she'll be like, it's almost like she kind of goes to grab you and then thinks twice. She kind of does this whole, stay there. And then she like scurries into the crowd. Because I imagine you still have this aura of, don't touch me.
Yeah, I don't think Tabitha likes being touched.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, so she sort of scurries off for a couple of minutes.
Tabitha will follow her.
Oh, she doesn't realize obviously that you're following her.
Yeah.
So she basically finds her friend and asks, obviously you hear her like asking, oh yeah, you know, there was the club over there, like what was it called? And she's like, because oh my god, you know, like Tabitha, and she's like, so cool. And she's like, and as she's speaking, like her friend's eyes get really wide.
I think Tabitha would probably use the Cloak of Shadows.
Oh, so you sneaking behind her?
Yeah. Some of these things are kind of like, I don't
know if that would work.
We're essentially like
in a crowd.
So what's it say? I know I need to stay still for it. Kind of, let's see. Standing perfectly still, the user blends into the surroundings. As long as they have some kind of cover, make no sound, and don't move. Only mechanical or supernatural means can detect them. So essentially, it's just like she'd follow her, and as soon as she stopped moving, she'd
just like
consciously disappear.
Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. As you do it, she's literally like chatting to her friend. She's like, oh, you know how you were telling me about that weird club and there was like kind of blood in the thing when you showed me that video, and that was a really creepy video, and I really didn't like that because oh my god, there was like blood coming out of that person's neck and it looked so real and I was not a fan. And she's like babbling away like teenagers do. And her friend's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And she's like, you know that my sister went to that, right? And they're like chatting away about it. And she's like, yeah, what was that name? What was the name of the place? And her friend says, oh yeah, it was called Prey.
Prey.
It's the name of the new club.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, thanks so much. She's like, hold up right there. I'll be like, because oh my god, Tabitha was there.
Tabitha will just walk forward.
And then she's like, Tabitha, and she kind of like ends on a squeak. And she's like, and then she's like, this is my friend.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Hi. And her friend's a bit like, hi.
Do you know where that club is?
She's like, I don't know the exact street, but it's like the other side of the city.
Okay.
But yeah, she's like, my sister goes a lot. She has to go through the underground. It's a bit of pain, but she says it's so worth it. But I don't know about that. Pain freaks me out. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Anything else I can help you with? You can tell that our friend's literally only here because this little child is like, ah!
Tabitha like leans in and she's like, you probably want to avoid the underground today. And then she'll walk away.
Okay. You can hear them going, that was slightly creepy. I mean, we weren't gonna go in the underground today because we just get a taxi, but that's very ominous. Don't like that. And the little girl's literally like staring at you, starstruck as you walk away. Yeah, so you're heading back to the house, I presume.
Yeah, she'll go back to the house.
Okay. I imagine Tabitha's probably the first one back, followed by Cal. And then it would be Reinhardt, and Lou'd probably come sauntering in last, looking all proud of himself.
He'll look very proud of himself, and they'll just immediately remove his jacket and shirt and just be like, yeah, and he'll pull the 2 business cards out of his pocket, check them out, and take out the one that's for Detective Michaels, and just go, well, if we need it, I've got us a direct contact number for a detective who's on this case. And we'll just stick it down on the table. And this is dinner.
Lovely. Congratulations. Sounds like you had a good evening.
No, it was bad.
Evening.
It was a bad evening.
Yes. A mess.
Yeah, it was awful.
Goodness me, can't leave you two alone for 2 minutes, can I?
Where were you?
Where was I?
Yes.
Well, I was upstairs talking to Detective Michaels.
What did you learn?
Not much. He's a bit of a hard ass. But, as said, I have a direct contact number now. So, if we need it, we can directly get a hold of someone related to this case.
Well, we have the blood.
Ooh, yummy.
No. The blood for the investigation.
Please, darling, you know I wouldn't eat it out of a syringe or a bag, or someone unconscious.
Yes, I know. There is also a mortician I'm going to have to take care of for a while.
No fun.
Sounds like a fun hobby.
No.
I like to have many.
He's lying in a puddle of his own blood at the moment.
He'll survive.
Oh, it
won't
went
he?
really badly.
Yes.
Not as bad as it sounds. But yes, not great.
It was awful.
So I had an experience.
Yes?
A helpful one?
Maybe, yes. Troubling. I was, you know, in the zone, listening, doing music, but I couldn't stop thinking about the things, about the victims, and then suddenly I could see, the victim. I couldn't see them very clearly, but it was like I was there, but not, and it was like a dream almost. Like they were walking. There was a park, and there was children shrieking happily. I guess they do. I don't see small things. But it was during the daytime. But then there was also screaming, and chanting happening. And so things like that were happening to the victim, but they didn't quite understand or know what was happening to them.
So the victim was attacked in the daytime?
Maybe they thought they were in the daytime, but they weren't. But maybe they, I don't know. But no, Luke, that's not the point.
No, it's not. It's just...
No, the thing is that I was shoved.
You were
What?
shoved?
I was shoved out of the vision physically. I fell on the ground. The music stopped. It
This
was almost a
actually happened.
disaster, but I fixed it. The set was fine. The music kept going, but no, yes, I was.
Concentrate. You were
What?
shoved.
I was shoved. They said there was a voice that said "back off," and I was shoved to the ground.
They could see you.
Maybe?
Has that ever happened before?
No.
But this definitely sounds like it's your area, Magic Man.
But the victim didn't know what was happening to them.
I would
Yeah.
like to say I'm very upset that there's somebody watching us that we're not watching.
It's easy enough to cloud someone's mind. It's no more a party trick for us. Like
So-
how I got into the morgue. I just asked the person to let me in.
Yes. But... And I'm sure this is just my own personal ignorance on the subject itself, but... Can mortals do magic?
Would I know if mortals can?
There have been rumours that
Well, I
mortals
know
can
The
do
original person, assuming that I know the history of my clan, the original Tremere was human who could do magic.
magic. Yeah, but they got very greedy and
Yeah,
obviously got cursed for it. Managed to essentially think they were having everlasting life and became vampires.
yeah. So I know it's
Um,
possible for a human to do it, or at least was.
Yes, there have been stories, as there always are, of exceptionally powerful humans or creatures in general that can do certain things. There's basically been nothing about anything like recent that would suggest that that is the case.
Yeah. So kind of with that, there used to be in the past. There used to be humans who could do magic, but in the recent times, I've not really heard of anything, because if there was, I would be tracking them down for their blood, because it would probably be very potent.
I
But
imagine it
I've
would be.
not heard of any. Can you remember what the chanting was? Like the sound of it?
Do I?
You probably wouldn't have. It would have been almost like kind of like an out of tune radio where you could like hear
All right.
obviously like some of the chanting, and then sometimes it was screaming and sometimes it was overlaid between the two. So if you heard it again, you would probably recognize it, but you couldn't tell what
Yeah.
it was. Nothing individual.
You know how
Yeah.
it's like when you know a song, but you can't remember the words. You're like, like that kind of thing. So no.
I'm going to give my
generally don't listen
phone to
music.
Tabitha and like, is it this park? And he's just got pictures of parks. What about this one? Is it this one? This one?
No, maybe
This one?
I mean that has trees.
They all have trees, Tabitha.
There would be a playground.
I need more. Think.
Oh wait, no, there was also this other thing that there's a new club in town that is, it sounds like it's vampire based. It's called Prey, but the person said it is a lot more realistic, a lot more blood. So it doesn't sound like it'd be very good.
I'm gonna Google it.
It's called Prey.
Yeah, he types in what? Really?
Okay, so as you Google it, you do find obviously the usual social media pages. There are no photos from inside of people, you know, there's
Covered in blood,
photos
yeah.
of like the outside of the club when it's empty, but there are no photos at all of people inside. People can't leave comments or photos or nothing. There's literally just, there's obviously updates on it about, oh, you know, we've got like, you know, certain events going on and things, but that's about it. But there's so many people that like and follow it, but there's nothing that tells you anything else about it.
Lou, do you recognize any of these names, or are they all bots?
I'll take a look. And see if any names on there look familiar.
There would potentially be one or two, but what you do notice that Cal probably didn't is the fact that it does say invite only.
Yeah, I never listened to those words.
It's like they they disappear like your face.
Like face blindness on those two words.
Absolutely. Well, I guess tomorrow night we could potentially check it out.
Yes.
Maybe
This is a distraction I don't want. There
but
can't be two clubs.
well, there can be many clubs, and they're the other side of
No.
the city. But if they're
So many clubs.
Not
There are
if we're
loads
gonna.
of clubs.
Not if we're gonna try to attain Haven status. We must protect our own.
absolutely, and also if this is a very realistic vampire club, there's definitely some concern as to what that might mean. I know that in the past I've had very much a disregard for the Masquerade, but now that we are starting our own haven, I see the benefits of it's really hard to say this with
Animosity.
the fangs. Animosity.
Yeah, let's just say that.
It's really hard to say with the fangs.
Yeah.
Animosity. But invite only. I get the feeling this might be something for you and I, Cal, as we can generally slip by in the shadows, and once in there I can just look the part. And if anyone does come up to try and kick me out, at least we know who to focus our attention on.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm always happy to help you maintain the Masquerade.
have you checked the name of our? Was there a name associated with the body?
No.
They didn't find any ID or anything on them.
Nope.
No, I'm gonna have to run his face, right?
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
the people have all been reported as John or Jane Doe.
Can you find out anything about him from the face? Then see if that name appears in on the comments or the names on the page of that club.
It will take me time, but yes.
That may give us something to work from, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if pretty good tech. I'll either get my ghoul to do it when she's awake to look through like a billion accounts for some sort of AI face recognition thing, or I will just go through all the photos on this social media until I see his face.
I mean, that could take a long time to do the
Yeah,
social media.
that's why I would get my ghoul to do it. What time in the night is it?
It is starting to come up to sunrise.
Oh, perfect.
Tabitha's starting to feel a little bit paranoid, and she wants to see if she can sense the unseen in their place where they live right now, like just in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as you can see and feel, everything in your place is normal. Nothing's been disturbed.
Okay.
Just the usual. It's
She's just doing a big search around the room just to make sure she doesn't see it. This is probably normal.
Yeah.
But occasionally she just starts like searching, like opening all the cupboards, looking underneath stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cal
Making sure the
appreciates
door's
it.
locked.
It's good. Yeah,
Yeah, I also feel like Cal's probably got cameras absolutely everywhere.
yeah,
in that place.
100%. Yeah, he lets you indulge your paranoia because his is secure. Yeah, I'm gonna text my ghoul then. Hey, baby, got a job for you, and I'll be like, I'll have it by the next time we meet.
Excellent.
If that's everything for this day, I'm going to head back to my place and try and get some sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Sleep the
Sleeping.
day away.
Yeah,
Well,
go sleep in a
thank you.
wall.
Yeah. You are starting to cut it close. It is getting very close to sunrise.
He's just going to head back. Yeah, we need to do better the next time. This was unacceptable. And just,
Agreed.
like, walk off.
Goodbye, darlings. We'll see
Felt
you.
tight.
See you in the evenings.
Maybe.
I'll see you when you want me to see you, Cal.
Okay, and that is the end of your first evening. That will probably be us for this evening because I am aware that it's 10:20,
Cool.
and we all have to be up early in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have
Sweet.
managed to steal body parts from, well, blood and details from police. You've got a detective's contact number. You've got a suspicious club, suspicious murders.
Yeah, I don't like the club.
Mm-mm.
I'd burn that
So,
place
yeah.
to the ground.
Yeah.
Shoved by somebody.
Yeah, that's really scary.
Yeah, that was freaky.
Yeah, we need to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm hooked. Many threads to unravel and pull that.
Yep.
Well, for those of you who are watching, thank you for joining us on this. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with the next episode of this series. And episodes will also go up onto our YouTube if you ever need to get caught up on stuff. So make sure to go and check us out there, and make sure to leave us some likes and some comments, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're watching now on Twitch, please make sure to follow, and if you want to subscribe and support us, you can as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do it for free, and it really just helps us out in a great way. But yeah, thank you all for joining us and watching. Fee, this is really great fun. I'm looking forward
thank
to
you,
this
Fee.
game.
Thanks, Fee.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
It's been fun.
Yeah. Good evening.
Have a good night, guys.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.